to the moon becomes a no-brainer because they're both two different individuals who have decided that they are in love and they want to build a family together, and differences create interest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I don't even think when in all the prenups that I drafted and during the mediations or the separate representation that I did on prenups, I didn't even discuss divorce because it wasn't about divorce. It was about getting married with a business plan.
Amen to that. That's absolutely the truth. And I think most people don't realize that. I think there's such a bad rep with, the rich hiding all of their assets and keeping things away from someone in the hopes that divorce never occurs. But if it does, that they're protected. And so I love that you value that. I love that that is the forefront of your message and you're helping couples to understand that prenups are really about entering the business of marriage, and it's about protecting yourselves in between. You would never start a business without a business plan. So why would we start marriage without a marriage plan? So I appreciate that. And I appreciate what you do because it is so valuable. Have you seen any trends in your practice within the past few years with prenups?
Well,
Are more people getting them?
My best story is about 7 years after one of my prenups. I bumped into the couple in downtown San Francisco, and they said, "Oh, hi, Susan, guess what? We're still married." And they were so proud to tell me that they were still married, as if I thought otherwise, right?
Right.
They were so happy. And another thing, Lauren, that I tell people sometimes is after they've negotiated the deal, so to speak, why not just take the document and put it into the drawer and forget it?
Yep.
And go about life and only use it as a default in case it is necessary. Because otherwise, life happens and people make changes. And the idea is to get the couple so resolution oriented that when the unexpected occurs, as you've just described, perhaps in a family situation or a business a reversal or whatever, that they're so malleable with each other and so comfortable with dialogue about important matters that it doesn't become a personal affront, but rather a business decision and a practical choice for going forward to the next step, to the next unexpected event. I mean, we all know enough now from COVID that there are no guarantees. There is nothing that we can put in writing that is concretized. We must stay flexible and fluid in a successful relationship because people change and health issues change, jobs change, desires change, goals change, work orientation changes, children come in. There are multiple issues that arise in a marriage, in a healthy marriage, and we want that to remain so. Which is why I say negotiate it, dialogue, get used to talking to each other, and put it away. And whatever comes down, que sera. There's no reason to be referring to it or bringing it back into the mix at this moment in time. They're in love. They're starting their life and creating their life without any guarantee, unfortunately.
Absolutely. One of the things we talk about here at HelloPrenup is prenups are like your marriage insurance. You use it in case you need it, right? It's not something that we have to read every single morning. And it's like, here's my morning coffee, read the prenup and read the guidelines and carry about your day. It's like you said, it's sitting up on a shelf in case you were to ever need it. And it's the insurance that you have so that you can have the peace of mind in your marriage, knowing that you're protected no matter what. So now you can ride off into the sunset together and enjoy the rest of your lives together without any anxiety as to what might happen in the event of.
Well, in the
uh-huh.
event of, and we don't even know what the event of is, and the lifestyle that one predicts when they're at their honeymoon phase of love can be very different than what they expect. And so actually, they could start to live a life and create a standard of living that is contra their prenup. And why not? If it works, it works. So we
Absolutely.
need to leave the door open for them to live life in the best way possible for them, given their moments in time. This is just simply a document, kind of like signing a lease. You know, you sign up for a lease, that's it. You pay your rent and forget it. The same applies here. So many changes can occur, and they may together decide to do things in another way, different from their prenup. There's no reason why they can't. They're not bound by it. It isn't a mantra for their life. It's only a business deal. And by the way, it could also include promotions, so that when you start up, you have seed money, right?
Right.
You have your beginning partnership where each has their own roles in the particular development of this new business. And as time goes on, new skills kick in, and one or the other wants to do something differently, or one or the other rises to from president to CEO, and one gets their accounting degree and they become CFO. There's a million things that can happen that change from what a couple thinks at the outset will be their lives. So it is not only for divorce, it is not only for a system in which they live, it's just there as a backdrop. If ever it's needed, if ever, and why would it be if they're healthy and functioning well? Because if they're not, then tell them to come to me and I'll get them back on track.
You'll set them straight real quick.
Right.
So you've got us all excited. We're all running and Googling, where can I get a prenup as soon as possible? How do couples bring up the topic, especially for someone that goes, oh, I know my fiance is going to have a hard time with this one? How do couples approach this topic?
Well, I would work with the person who is wondering about that, for example, because I'm a strategist. I would meet with that person privately, and I would ask them the details of their relationship. I would ask them psychological of their soon-to-be and what the dynamics have been so far and what they have discussed to date. And I would empower them with language about how to approach, in certainly a non-adversarial way, in a loving way, their soon-to-be spouse. It's a tricky wicket. And because I advise and consult with people all the time, each one is tailored to the needs of that specific client base. And so I would be spending a little bit of time with that person who wants to broach the subject. And I would arm them with tools to go forward. And then I would ask them to report back to me as to what the response was. And then I would invite them, if they wish, to speak with me directly, both of them, or just one. I could also be a secret sauce. One of them could just consult with me privately. I give them the tools. They try it out. They come back. This worked, this didn't. We go forward. We try another method. We have alternatives, a million alternatives to communication. The bottom line is, how do we get through to the other person to get what we want? And not in a defiant manner, not in any